You're listening to the Timey-Wimey Tea Time Podcast, a geekyantics.net production where lovely and amazing people talk and ponder anything and everything about Doctor Who, science fiction, fantasy, zombies, the end of the world, creativity, writing, and, oh heck yes, anything else that geeks speak, question, and think.
Timey-Wimey Tea Time. Me gusta.
Greetings and welcome to Timey-Wimey Tea Time, where we friends gather to talk about all things Doctor Who, sci-fi, fantasy, creative writing, and sometimes anime, and assorted flavors of geekdom. I am Yomar Lopez, aka YogiZilla, and today we're joined by none other than Stan Farina. What's up, Stan?
Hello. How you doing? I'm happy. This is awesome. No, this is awesome. I'm really excited because you have some good news to say.
Oh, we're getting to that already?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's get the excitement up. Let's get this party started.
Well, before we get into that, I do want to say that Stan, along with myself, we're the permanent fixtures. We're the fixed points in time and space on this show. We do hope to have other recurring and guest hosts join us. We do have a couple of folks that should be on permanent rotation, so that's exciting. Matt Bradford, Chris Gannon, our resident salty dog, and Alistair Kennedy from 42 Level 1 will also be joining us some point in the near future. For him, Wednesdays are easier, so when we do a bonus episode, we'll probably have to get him on board, because I don't think Saturdays are going to work for him. And that's what the community wants, Saturdays. So we're here. It's noon here in the States, on the East Coast. In the UK, particularly London, it's 5 p.m. We are mainly in Eastern time zone, so 5-hour difference. Little fun facts there, so everybody knows what kind of timing it is. For me, this is morning. I'm not a morning person, really. Stan can tell you I was up till like 4 in the morning, and
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I didn't get to bed till like 6, and then I kept waking up, and I was really excited.
You need more soft kitty.
I do, but I want to say, Stan, even though I'm trying to keep our overhead low, you're a go-getter, bro. I told you not to spend any money, but you went ahead and hired some voice talent. We had a very professional piece done there.
That was awesome.
I love that he says Timey-Wimey.
Yeah.
That's so cute. So that's we're actually pretty darn professional now.
Yeah.
And we got the British accent, which gives us tons of credibility. Now all we need is a Scottish person, and we'll be good.
There you go.
But the big news, right? You want to talk about it? Shall I?
You should, because you're the man that made it happen.
All right. Well, I don't want to say too much until everything's firmed up, but we will be doing a test run on the All Games Network next Saturday, and I know I'm already gonna cause some. Yes, so we'll be on allgames.com, streaming live there, as well as on our own network, Geeky Antics. It's a collaboration that we like to maintain. They're like our unofficial sister network, so it's good stuff. It is a test run, so I want to make sure I focus on that part, and we have to do it earlier due to travel arrangements and business events that Stan and I will be attending together. So, next week we'll be on site together in the same room. On location, baby.
It'd be dangerous.
Oh, man. I might, I don't know. I might get so giddy I might start tickling Stan during the show. I could be a little. I could be a little.
We have some squirrels that you can chase after.
Okay, that's good. Maybe I'll bring one of the cats with me. But I could be a little sophomoric sometimes. So, I'm mature, but then sometimes it's like don't take. I believe in not taking yourself too seriously. So that's kind of the tone that I want to keep going on in the show. Very casual. Fun, informative. We go deep. We definitely go deep. But, we don't want to be like, hoity-toity or anything of that effect. Yeah. So stay on.
Snobs.
What's that?
We're not snobs.
We're not snobs at all. And I hope that's always evident in everything we do. But, anyway. Stay tuned for that on allgames.com. You'll be able to click the listen button and go into the... If you click on live or chat, I think both work. You could go into the live chat, which is actually IRC, and I'm there almost 24/7 on the IRC channel. So we'll be chatting on Twitch and IRC. It's gonna be very interesting. But so Stan, if you don't know, he's former IAB European National Director, and he's a current sci-fi novelist, social media maven, I would say.
Thank you.
And resident ballbuster. We love that about him. He's gentle with it. You
gotta watch those Type A personalities.
Indeed. But let's not get into psychological profiles again, because that's a slippery slope.
I hear you.
And me, Yomar, I decided I'm gonna use my real name more, even though Yogi and Yomar, and I know you do. I know you're part of the reason I made the decision.
Thank you.
And I feel like I'm obliged to do it, and it also feels right because our other shows that we have tend to focus more on gaming, and so it makes sense to use Yogizilla or Yogi more, because that's the name I use in all my different online games and whatnot. So it makes sense. I'm Yogizilla on Steam and Xbox Live and all that stuff. But everybody's been so open with us that I feel like all right, let's be even more transparent. So I'm Yomar. There's not too many of us in the world. I like for us to be on a first name basis. I'm pretty sure if you Google just Yomar, I'm on the top. I'm on the front of the page. At least last time I checked. I try not to pull a Katy Perry too much and Google myself. But I am the founder of Geeky Antics and the owner / sole proprietor. But I've created this network as a way to give back to the community and help other folks with their projects. And it's a mutually beneficial thing. It's not like I don't get anything out of it. I am doing it out of the goodness of my heart. It is mainly a non-profit scenario for now, but things are coming around because there are costs to cover, and it's great because we get to work on stuff together and fill in the gaps. We complement each other well here in the gang. So what someone lacks, someone else has, and it's become a very good team environment. And just the Timey-Wimey Tea Time community, the TWTT community is just amazing with the support. So we hope we can extend that to the entire network. You can check out some of our other shows as well and give some love to our writers in particular. Our storytelling section is heating up. I, in fact, just posted my first crappy piece on there. So you guys can go over. You guys can go to the comments and.
It's very funny, actually.
You like it?
I read it. You see?
Did it make you laugh?
Oh yeah, I was laughing all the way through. And that's great, because I'm kind of sad. I write about sad, unhappy things most of the time. So it's nice to see happy writing.
I was gonna go into a dark place. I was about to do like a very dark kind of space opera type story. Then I was like, nah. I started writing, and I was like, I'm not in that mood. I'm gonna write a happy story.
And I like that it's set in outer space.
Yeah, I had to do it.
I mean, like you've said before, there's just a lack of space, space stuff out there. So it's good to see it.
Yeah, and you know what I love about space, and I've had plenty of time to think about this, especially with all the deep stuff you've been saying lately, bro, offline and online. But you know, I think space excites us because it reminds us how insignificant we are as individuals, and that goes to the philosophical topics, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into that because the community has been asking about that. What about the philosophical, issues raised in episode 2 of series 8 of Doctor Who? And we're like, woo. Actually, yeah, there was quite a bit of a breadcrumb left there. You have to just really kind of pay attention, or you'll miss it. You blink and it's gone.
Don't blink.
Don't blink. The weeping angels will get you. They will get you, dude. That was funny too. One of our friends posted the image on Instagram. I commented on it and I said, "Careful, the weeping angels will get it." And then it came up on Facebook, and he said the same comment.
Yeah.
In two separate spaces, within an hour, we were on the same wavelength, dude.
That was awesome. It's just like, what are you guys talking about?
And totally not coordinated at all. But oh my Twitter's blowing up. I don't know if you hear my phone vibrating in the background. But anyway, before we get into the deep discussion of Doctor Who and all the tangents thereof, because not just Doctor Who, but it is obviously the main focus. We'd like to go into our little segment where we talk about, what's Doctor Who, who's who. So I know you ladies love Stan's sexy voice, so I'm gonna let him take this.
All right. So, what's Doctor Who? Doctor Who is a 50-year-plus BBC sci-fi television series about a funny little man that travels all of time and space, and with a little help from his mostly earthly companions. The Doctor, that's his name, the Doctor. He's worn more than a few faces, 13 to be exact, over all these years. But regardless of the face or the accessories, scarf, bow tie, red fez, robotic dog, etc., the Doctor remains the same lovable and intelligent alien man, popping about in a wheezing blue police call box called the TARDIS. What's the TARDIS? The TARDIS is a time machine, a spaceship, and almost a world unto itself. It's bigger on the inside.
So what? So
yeah.
what? Why should we care? I'm playing devil's advocate. By the way, quick sidebar, it's very fascinating and exciting to see people that have just straight out told us, I used to think Doctor Who was a crappy, cheesy show, and that, I always heard about it, but I didn't really think twice about it until I listened to your show, and I gave it a chance, and I'm in love. That's awesome. But for those who still haven't made a decision, why should they care, Stan?
Well, I think Doctor Who is one of the most enjoyable and intriguing mysteries of geek culture. That's why we talk about it, because the Doctor captivates our collective geek imagination. He reminds us of what's best about us and the worst, and how we have to face our fears, our inescapable loneliness, and great challenges with courage, intelligence, compassion, and a decisively good will.
Beautifully put. And last week we saw in the comments that there was one person at least that felt a very strong urge to point out that Doctor Who fails at sci-fi because it doesn't, mirror the social issues of today. And I beg to differ on that, because there's a lot of moral decisions in there, and it may not have that the symbolism there, but there's issues that are relevant anytime, really, especially today.
Right.
So I think it's definitely there. No?
I'm sitting on the fence on that. I think it was a her. She
Yes, it was her. I think her name was
so
Anita.
okay. So I mean, when she raised it, I was like, okay, I got to think about this. I'm going to need a couple weeks. Maybe I have to watch some more shows. I mean, I definitely see, you know, she she had a point, and there's some bad stuff going on around the world right now, and the Doctor Who show is not touching on that. It's and it could. But on the other hand, the Doctor Who show, it does touch on big topics. They just may be more evergreen.
Yeah. Little marketing talk there. That's what. That's the evergreen is more of a thing that people that really work with social media, not people that just use social media. People that actually understand social media, which are very few of us, sadly. There's a lot of misuse of social media, but yes, evergreen.
A lot of people try.
A lot of people do try. And it's great when, every now and then I'll even tweet out a picture of a sandwich that I just forged after much hard work. But I don't think that should be the brunt of your social media.
Or selfies, man.
Yeah, it's
Don't
like,
post more than one selfie for every 20 posts.
oh gosh, that should be a universal rule. I'll be a
This
little
is
more
true.
generous. I'll be a little more generous. For every 10 shares, you could post a selfie. Or 1 in 10 shares can be a selfie, but there's people that's all they do is like, do you enjoy yourself enough? Like, I just gotta say, I gotta put this out here to everybody. Whether you're a man or a woman, you may have to do some introspection if you have a picture of yourself as your wallpaper on your phone. That seems a little troubling to me. And for those single folks out there, if you're dating someone or looking to date someone, and you see that, you may want to be a little careful. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't
You don't even
know.
want to touch that.
I just lit a cigarette. Sorry, dude.
Okay.
I'm a chain smoker. I have to admit it.
King Deem in the chat says that selfies are the best. Why not do more? Duck faces are the best. Yes, the duck face. It has its place. But moving on. So as I mentioned, here at TWTT, we do indeed focus mainly on Doctor Who, but we love to share our other passions with you all and get to know each other better. That's kind of the whole idea, getting the concept of tea time. Get friends getting together and enjoying some good banter. Whovians, geeks, creatives, hanging out. I like it. You like it, Stan?
I like it too.
Me gusta.
Me gusta.
I'm gonna try to say that more because I know Stan likes it.
I do. It makes me happy.
So, we are simulcasting on Twitch.tv on my channel, YogiZilla. But the main experience is right here on Geeky Antics. We got some nice hype going on here in the chat. I'm also poking my head into the All Games chat as well, so we can get ready when we do the test run on All Games. Hopefully it works out well, so make sure you show lots of love, because the main man behind allgames.com right now, he's going to want to see the numbers. He wants to see the live listening numbers. So next week, make sure you go to allgames.com and just hit that listen button. Even if you can't stay there, listen to that live stream so that when he looks at the analytics, he goes, hey, this TWTT show is kind of a big deal. That's what we want, right? Right, Stan?
Oh yeah, we need the love, especially next week.
So, yeah, we're a little nervous.
We'll pay you. I don't know how much money we have, but we'll pay you.
Oh gosh, let's not make that commitment. I don't think a starving artist can really make that kind of promise. We'll pay you with good content, and I hope that's enough.
That is.
We do have virtual meetups. Put some time into what?
We put some serious time into this,
Oh yeah. I don't know how often you re-listen to the episodes, but I re-listen to them throughout the week. And my rule is if I can't re-listen to it at least once, without like kind of groaning to myself, saying, ugh, I don't like that, or that really bothers me, then there's something we need to, change. But actually, I was actually able to listen and enjoy it, especially the parts where Stan talks and goes deep.
Oh, you're being too nice. No, I mean I do the same thing. I re-listen to the podcast, and I'm looking at the comments and trying to figure out, what do they want to hear? What do they want us to talk about?
Yep. And we are getting lots of great feedback, and just keep it coming. We know we can't satisfy everyone, but we'll try to find a happy medium, a little sweet spot. I do want to invite everybody to one place to connect with us. We were intending to do a virtual meetup in the form of a group viewing session of Doctor Who, but I don't think it's going to happen today because there's logistics with that. So we're going to probably wait at least another 2 to 3 weeks, so we get into a groove with what we're doing on all games, and then try to set that up. And in the meantime, there's 2 ways you connect with us: geekyantics.net, click on register, and if for some reason the link on the top is broken, 'cause I'm still coding some stuff on there, just go to the right hand side of the screen. On the sidebar at the very top, you'll see a login section, and I'll have a little register link, and that one will definitely work. I tested it several times today. Register on the site, and then go on our forums and say hello, introduce yourself. There's a place just for Timey-Wimey Tea Time, and there's also introductions and high fives section where you could just talk about who you are, how you found us, what your passions are, your hobbies, and yeah, feel free to do some self-promotion too. We welcome it. For podcasters and Twitch streamers, we have a specific section for that, so you can really go deep on what you're doing with your projects, and we don't see it as a conflict of interest. We know there's lots of other people doing the same thing we're doing, and we'll be more than happy to help you out, as long as you don't mind if we promote and work with you too. It's got to be mutual to some extent. You know what I mean? Right,
Yeah.
Stan?
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing if they go to geekyantics.net, because that way we can actually interact more. Because it's kind of hard, it's limited, I mean, it's wonderful that we get comments and we reply to them. But if you want to have a little bit more of a conversation, if they get to the website, then we can do that there, and that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have a really active audience on your fan page. So make sure you guys check out Stan on Facebook. He's got a fan page. Just look up Stan Farina and you'll see it. His author page. And he's got tons of activity there. And that stuff is great. But we're trying to create a common funnel. I have stuff going on my channel, my YouTube channel, my Twitch channel, on my blogs and everything, and Twitter. We're trying to get it as a common place and get everybody in one place. Another way, by the way, besides the forums, I know not everybody's into forums, and forums by nature are not very user friendly. It's kind of like IRC. IRC has been around a long time, and it still hasn't caught on. There's other things people rather use for instant messaging, but IRC is never gonna die because it's got that really cult following, so to speak. But anyway, another way you can connect with us and stay in the know and become like a VIP is to get on our mailing list. You can subscribe. Again, that's in the sidebar on geekyantics.net, and they get on the list, and that's it. And that's pretty much it. And oh yeah, let me not forget the best one.
Voicemails.
Yeah, Stan. What did you tell them about that?
Love voicemails. I mean, we've been getting great voicemails. So you can tell us about your first favorite or deepest Whovian experience. Share your love for the show with us. Tell us who your favorite doctor is. Just say something. That's at 206-415-4987.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
All right. Now I don't know. I think later on we're getting to that right now. Wait, again, we are experimenting with different things. So we did get a lot of feedback. There were a couple of folks. Most of you like that we go long and deep. That sounds really bad. But yes, but that's become our slogan. Go deeper. That's what everyone's saying. But so yeah, there's no way we could go deep in an hour-long show. But we'll try to cut up the YouTube videos so they're more bite-sized. The thing is, I have an option to either do manual cuts or break it into 15-minute intervals. At 15-minute intervals, it'll look pretty poopy, I think. So I think the compromise will be, we'll have a 1 hour segment, the first half, and then another hour the second half, and then we will also include the pre-show and the post-show as bonus material, if they're good enough. If not, we'll just skip it. And you'll have to just wonder what did I miss. And that's why you have to join us live. But here's what we got to talk about in the show. In the first half, TWTT, we'll be talking about our favorite doctors. Actually, our favorite Doctor Who quotes, not our favorite doctors.
Yeah.
We were going to talk about our favorite doctors, but that would take a whole show.
Maybe
and probably
next time.
Yeah, and probably revisiting a lot of episodes to give it proper consideration. That's a common question too. Who's your favorite doctor? It's like, well, it kind of changes all the time, but right now it's kind of fixed.
I think there's probably great things about all the doctors, and I'd like to explore that. Find out what's good about each doctor. Maybe what shows, what episodes did they really shine in. I think that could help everyone get deeper into the Doctor Who universe.
Ooh, yeah, we could maybe go back, to 2005. Not too far, not all the way back, but go back to since the series came back, and maybe highlight some of the key episodes for us, or maybe episodes where like major turn of events took place. That'd be interesting.
I'm all for that.
Very lots of things to do.
What else do we have?
We also have Doctor Who episode 2 of season 8. We're gonna do a little recap and analysis. We won't go too heavy on the recaps. There might be special recap episodes here and there, but we want to give you guys a wide variety of content, because I know when I listen to a recap episode or a fan cast, if all they do is go through a data dump of what went down, it bothers me. Like, even if they're very engaging individuals, it's like, well, for that I could just watch the episode. So we try to focus on the parts that we feel are significant or that impacted us in some way, and whatever you guys pick out as well. So that's what you can expect in our episode breakdowns. So episode 2, there will be some light spoilers there, or maybe some heavy spoilers depending on how deep we go. Season 8's heating up. The more I go back to it, the more I'm enjoying it. Oh, I'm sorry, Series 8 to be proper, because some people may get a seizure when you say that. It's like, oh, it's series. But the last thing we'll cover in the first half of the show will be philosophy and the symbolism in episode 2. And of course, that's just it. We're not very structured or scripted, but that's just to give you guys an idea of where you should skip ahead. In the second half, we'll do shout-outs, voicemail, and maybe a few plugs here and there, depending on the mood and if it feels right.
And soft kitty.
Oh, gosh. Yes, we'll do the soft kitty. Stan will share the rules of the soft kitty contest. We're still working out. We're still kind of ironing out all the details on that. I know there's a little bit of confusion on that. It was something we kind of did on the spot. I mean, we talked about it beforehand, but we didn't really think it all the way through. But we said, this would be cool to do. Let's do it. And you guys have, everybody's risen to the occasion. You find folks, don't waste time. I love it. Oh, last but not least, we're going to talk further about what's going on with the Doctor Who groupie theater. Though we could probably skip that. There's not much to report right now other than we're going to probably need 2 to 3 weeks to really get that figured out and maintain the momentum. We want to make sure we keep the momentum going and stay consistent before we get too ahead of ourselves. So Stan is creating a chronicle of our timing to get a feel for how long the show pacing takes.
Because Stan is a noob.
Yeah.
Stan's trying to figure out and be helpful.
it is helpful. The only reason I brought it out is because you can hear the gentle pitter patter of your typing. The keyboard has a very nice sound to it. It's very tactile, right? It's got a nice little feedback to it.
Mm-hmm.
I like clickety clackety keyboards. Though don't have one of those if your computer is in your significant other's room and they're trying to sleep, which is why I have the man cave.
Probably all the ashes buried in the keyboard and the keys to help the sound.
Or it helps kind of like pad it a little bit.
Yeah.
Muffle it. All right, so without further ado, let's jump into this. Because a bunch of you fine Whovians have asked us about some of our favorite quotes from Doctor Who. And actually, I just saw a great one today on Twitter that reminded me of it. But I'll let Stan start this off. Stan, go ahead and give us the good stuff.
All right, one of my favorite quotes. It's Rose Tyler from season 1, episode 13, and she's talking to the doctor. So she's like, "You don't just give up. You don't just let things happen. You make a stand. You say no. You have the guts to do what's right, even when everyone else just runs away." I mean, that was epic.
Not
Not to mention it was Rose.
I'm trying to pull up this one that I just found. Here we go. This one, it's a long one. I don't know if I'm gonna go through the whole thing. Yeah, because it's quite lengthy. But it's the one that ends. Just this one part alone. It says, "Tell her, this is the story of Amelia Pond, and this is how it ends." That part alone gives me chills.
Oh, yeah.
No?
Yes.
All right.
Keep going.
Oh, you want to read the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh god, that's a long one. Well, I'll say this one. This is River Song, Series 6, Episode 13. Alright, here's the quote. "Everybody knows that everybody dies, but not every day, not today. Some days are special. Some days are so blessed. Some days, nobody dies at all.
Awesome.
Now and then, every once in a very long while, every day in a million days, when the wind stands fair and the doctor comes to call, well, I'm killing this, everybody lives."
That's epic. That tells us that's who the doctor is.
It is. Though I totally ruined the delivery, so that the dramatic effect went out the window. But yeah, that is a wonderful quote. Everybody lives. And it goes to show that the doctor is a compassionate spirit. It's...
He doesn't even want to kill the bad guys.
Yep. So that... Now, for anyone that feels that it doesn't speak to what we need in the world today, I don't think anything speaks louder than that. Like, there's so much violence in the world, and it gets to me. Like, I see my kids watching videos on YouTube of people, like, getting hurt doing stupid stunts. Or kids in the schoolyard having fights. Like, yo, you want to fight? You got beef, yo? And it's like, come on. You don't gratify them. Don't glorify what they're doing by giving them views. Then this kid's running around surprise punching people in the back of the head.
What's up with that?
Dude, that's actually a thing.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
I mean, I know there's bigger problems in the world, but it starts with those little things. Those are the seeds of hate and violence and selfishness. And that's and together, all those people get together, chaos ensues. It starts with those simple things. From the littlest things, being cruel to animals. That really gets to me too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a time when people used to take cats and put them in bags and hang them off trees, and they thought that was funny. I was like, how's that funny to you?
Yeah.
People, come on. So I and someone did mention in our comments, they asked a question. I don't have it in front of me. This was not one we planned to share today, but it did really touch my heart because he asked. He said, "Does the doctor represent real or false hope?"
That's deep.
I know. I'd like to think he represents real hope. What do you think?
Well, it's not. It's not. The doctor is not about making us comfortable or making it comfortable. That's a good thing. I mean, that's more real. Yeah, he's trying to make that place where everyone lives today, and there's something real about that.
Yeah, I think he's probably the most believable hero out of all the shows we could think of right now.
Yeah, and he doesn't have superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, okay, he has the time and space traveling machine. He has the sonic screwdriver, but that's not much. I mean, it's really about intelligence and about heart and about paying attention and caring.
And the message there to me is very loud and clear. Anyone can bring about change. And, I think it's our personal duty to make sure that's a positive change, not a negative change.
Yes.
So that's inspiring to me. That definitely brings about much hope. But I do want to thank Alice and the Babes on Twitter for sharing that quote this morning. The timing could not be better. But King Deem in the chat says, from a good man goes to war, season 6, episode 7. His favorite quote is, "Good men don't need rules. Today is not a good day to find out why I have so many." That's a good one too. And you find folks, make sure if you leave voicemail, you can leave quotes too. Whatever you feel like. We love to hear your favorite quotes. That'd be cool too.
Yeah.
What do we got next here, Stan?
Season 8, man. Give us an overview. There's a lot of people that still don't know about Doctor Who. We just introduced who the Doctor is and his blue box, but let's talk about season 8. Enlighten us.
Oh, I will try. We're gonna try to go deeper. Yeah, we gotta trademark that. I'm sure it's already somewhere. But so the Doctor is not the Doctor, but he is, and this is arguably the 12th regeneration, maybe, if you don't count.
It's very confusing now.
Yeah, if you don't count self-regenerations and hands in the jar, and if you don't consider the side stories in the novels and other things as canon, then yeah, it's the 12th Doctor, maybe. It is very confusing. But, so he's no longer a hipster-ish, floppy-haired, boy toy type, we talked about this with Matt Bradford, that Matt Smith, they get confusing, Matt and Matt. He was a much more physical Doctor. But, he took, for most of us, it took a long time to get used to him. But then when he finally grew on us, he was out the door. So, so the Doctor's face and body change with each regeneration. And we mentioned this many a time. And it's kind of one of the big things about Doctor Who. It could be a boon or a bane, depending how you look at it. So now he's a sexy, mature gentleman, gray hair, severe eyebrows, and tailored attire from an overpriced shop on Hyde Street. And it's very interesting, too, because...
He's a 1%er? He changed sides, man.
I know. He's all fancy pants now. I kind of miss the cons, Tennant with the cons, man. But, I like this, and in a lot of interviews, Peter Capaldi has said that he's put a lot of much effort into choosing the costume and helping mold that character. So I'm really digging what he's bringing to the table here. So he's quite the dapper fellow, and this is the Doctor that supposedly makes no mistakes, or less mistakes. This is the Doctor that maybe fixes past mistakes, or maybe not.
We're hoping.
Will he be a dangerous Doctor? Or as the community has mentioned, maybe we don't need a dangerous Doctor. Maybe we want a paternal Doctor. Maybe he could be both.
Idea.
I
like
love
that
too.
idea.
I love that too. And we did put up a poll on geekyantics.net. If you go to the community feedback, community events and feedback section, and the category for that, or just look at on the blog portion of the site, you'll see a poll asking you what your favorite aspects of the perfect Doctor Who show would be. Which you guys already say they were the best Doctor Who podcast better, but we want to be even better. We want to serve the community even more than we already do. And we know we're never satisfied. Stan and I both beat each other up and ourselves up because sometimes we can be perfectionists. but in a good way. We don't let it consume us. You don't want to get stuck as a creative. You don't want to get stuck in analysis paralysis, especially when you're a writer. They call it, writer's block, but it's really over analyzing things or being too critical of yourself, and sometimes we could be our own worst enemies. But yeah, I love the concept of paternal doctor, and
we're gonna get into that. So, what is a good father?
We're gonna get into it now.
No, but we are going to get into it. Maybe the next episode, because that was such a great suggestion. I didn't even think of it myself. I don't know. So I'm just so impressed. That's why our community rocks.
They do. You're gonna have to write a note in there. I'll write it for you. Next episode.
Yes.
Tentative. What is a good father? Done.
Awesome.
It's a very important thing, and but I think it's good to say a more paternal figure, because a woman could take on a paternal role if she's a single mother. So that's important to say too.
That's my mom.
Yep, mine too.
World's best mom in the world.
Well, okay, I'll let you believe that.
Me.
My mom's the best mom in the world.
I know your mom is the best mom in the world for you. I accept that.
I know. They could both be the best moms in the world.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, maybe one day we'll get them together and we'll have a potluck kind of thing.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So yeah, actually, that's a fun little sidebar there. What's like one of the best things your mom can cook? Just out of curiosity.
Gin and tonic.
That works. She'll handle the adult beverages, and my mother can make some arroz con pollo and well, actually arroz con guandules. That's what I really like. Some pernil.
Oh, you're making me hungry now.
Maybe she can make some drinks too. She can do some pina coladas and.
Oh, I like pina coladas.
Yeah, she makes them good, and she does coquito. Oh, she makes a really awesome flan. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love flan.
I love flan too. I can make flan, but it's hard to get it just right. Usually, I end up making more of a cheesecake flan, and it tastes good. But I love that when you get the texture, the custard. Hey, and the doctor loves custard.
Yeah.
Look at that. Everything comes
He
around
would
full
like
circle.
flan.
He would love flan, dude. I would lose it if the doctor's eating flan in one episode. So yeah, so there are questions, many questions that surround the Doctor, but they always do. And if you play video games, Doctor Who, the pacing of Doctor Who and the storytelling style is akin to Assassin's Creed. It answers lots of questions, but it also creates more questions than it answers along the way. That's part of the fun, though. But so far in Series 8, the Doctor has made an intimate conversation with a T-Rex, which sadly, spoiler, he doesn't last very long, and that made me sad.
It's a she.
I'm sorry, it is a she.
I'm sorry to correct you.
They did say it was a she.
And she's poetic.
I had to erase the T-Rex from my mind because she didn't last long. The way she went down, it was terrible.
It was. She was lonely. She felt lost and confused. And, and then she got barbecued. It was hard.
Dude, that made me genuinely hate that new enemy that they introduced.
Oh, yeah.
I was just filled with so much rage. I was like, you bastard. The T-Rex was not hurting anyone. Why did you do that? You could have just waited for the Doctor to take her back home. She was just lost and panicking. Darn
But
it.
she was contained, so she wasn't rampaging through the city.
That's right, she was contained.
We're
spoiling it a little bit for Kingdom. Yeah, this is the spoiler section. Come back in about 20-30 minutes. But or unmute us in 20-30 minutes.
What's next? What else happens in season 8?
So the Doctor's also thwarted a murderous plot of a flesh-wearing cyborg. I don't know why I wanted to say it that way, but I did. Cyborg, man, I'm gonna get you. That bastard. But so do you remember Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs?
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
It will put lotion on the skin.
You know, that's actually one of our household favorite quotes.
It's awesome.
Silence of the Lambs, you know, like one of the creepiest things is the whole. It's like, really? Did that just happen? Okay. Also, the Doctor's toyed with the mind of a Dalek, and he's unleashed a Dalek killing champion onto the universe.
Uh-oh.
His next stop, guys, episode 3, tonight, if you're listening live.
Tonight, yeah.
Sherwood. What is it, Robots of Sherwood?
Yep.
Yeah, next stop is Sherwood, baby. And they already deleted a scene due to some recent real-life events. I was reading that somewhere. Something about, I think there was some sort of beheading scene with robots involved, but they figured it hit too close to home due to some of the things that are going on around the world. So see that? They are aware of what's going on around the world. They removed that scene, so there we go. We made it. We made our case. But that is.
They have cut it.
They cut it out, yeah.
Should they have cut it?
Should they?
That's a question, because what's going on is a horrible thing. Maybe we do need to think about it and comment about it.
You know, I really feel like with the way bad news, negativity, hate travels much faster than empowerment, beauty, love, compassion.
Unfortunately.
Especially with social media, yeah. So especially with social media, we're inundated by all this craziness, you know. So I don't think we need to have it in our faces constantly. I really don't. It's not that we should live in ignorance, but really someone would have to live under a rock to not be aware of what's going on in the world. And there are people that do live under rocks. People that like reality television, and that's all they watch. They live
back to reality television.
Yeah, because they live in a fantasy world. It's like unreality, you know.
And that you know, the Duck Man actually came out and said some stuff about what's going on with ISIS, and I was like, oh man, he sounds just like them. So Mr. Duckman of Duck Dynasty was like, what we need to do is convert them, and if they don't convert, we should kill them. And it's like, what's different? That's the exact same thing that they're saying.
Exactly, and that's both you and I are Christians, but we're not the kind of Christians that try to convert agnostics or people of other religions. You know, even though churches will tell you try to convert people to the faith, but if you do that, if you strong arm that, you turn people away from it. You know,
Exactly.
no one likes a shark. Let's be honest.
Hey, share the love, and that's good enough.
Yeah, just be compassionate. Be the kind of person you want others to be. Be the change you want to see in the world. Right? The Dalai Lama said that, and I think it's very simple. Just do that, and then people will want to know what you're about and why you are the way you are. How were you brought up? What were you exposed to? What made you different from everyone else?
Right.
But you know, the irony though of it, you know, before I really go down that tangent, is that ultimately every major faith in the world is monotheistic and has similar ideals and teachings. But we all have to like just go into this proverbial, you know, pissing contest to compare, you know, penis size or other genitalia, whatever people are doing. You know, and make a point. It's like, my religion is better than yours. And this is what happened with, you know, throughout history, with the Crusades, you know, Roman Empire. It's always the same kind of thing. It's like, my way is better than yours. Accept it or die. It's like, well, why don't you just have an open dialogue and say, well, why do you feel your thing is the right way? And they said, well, that sounded like what I'm doing. That sounds a lot like what I believe in. And I appreciate what you're doing. Can we just, you know, compromise and, you know, hang out? We could coexist. You know, I believe in what I believe in because I'm scared that if, you know, I stop believing, and I was wrong to stop believing, then bad things will happen to me. You know, but if I believe and then I end up being wrong anyway, I don't lose. So you hold on to your beliefs, and I hold on to mine. Okay, cool. Let's go play some basketball. I don't know. Let's have some tea.
Let's do some beautiful things.
Yeah, it's so simple. But anyway, what do you got for us, Stan?
Well, so besides all the action and adventure going on in the Doctor Who story with season 8, series 8, one of the things that we're even the audience is having a hard time dealing with because it's affecting our appreciation for Capaldi. But the fact is that with each regeneration, there's some problems, and right now the Doctor is in the midst of a profound identity crisis. Because with every regeneration, there's memory loss, there's a new personality emerging, and an old personality disappearing. And there's a lot of awkward moments. For example, Clara, who's supposed to be helping the Doctor, she's a young, attractive traveling companion. And she wants her boy toy back. She wants Matt Smith back. And she seems to be rejecting this distinguished gentleman doctor who is played by Capaldi. And that's not easy. It's not easy for the doctor in the story, and it's not easy for us in the audience. My 2 cents.
Yeah, and they're really overstating her dismay towards his new face and whatever and personality. Um, Again, you gotta be careful. Don't do too much build up because then you're gonna get us speculating and being hopeful, and then for those of us that are very imaginative, what ends up being the payoff may not match our expectations, and then there's disappointment. And
Exactly.
that makes everybody a sad panda. So, episode 2 of series 8 was titled "Into the Dalek," or as some people like to call it, "Up the Dalek." Spoilers, big spoilers here. But the Doctor and Clara find themselves on the human man starship Aristotle, not to be confused with the floppy dongle. The humans are being hunted down by the Daleks. We've seen this before, but it's still fun when we see it. They're like cyborgs that operate high-tech armored suits that remind us of a trash can. They're also very good plumbers. Did you know that? They're very good plumbers.
They got the plunger.
Yep. But Daleks are warlike. I'm thinking Hearthstone now.
Oh.
This is Freudian slip if there ever was one.
Yeah.
But they're aggressive, they're angry, and definitely not sympathetic. They're basically a mutant remnant of a humanoid race from the planet Skaro. So, yeah.
They were created like this to survive the nuclear war fallout that happened on their planet. So, yeah, they didn't start off in a happy situation. But they've been a constant enemy of the Doctor throughout the many seasons.
Yeah, that's the arch enemy pretty much. No.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's no greater enemy. I mean, they are actually the monsters that attacked Doctor Who's home planet.
Yeah, and I think sometimes longtime Whovians feel like the recycling of enemies and story arcs is a little annoying. Like it feels like they're running out of content, but it's good. You can never quite get rid of the Daleks. The day that they're completely defeated, I think it would be sad. It's always great when they make a comeback, but that said, I think it's good when they spend a long time away from the Daleks and make you think that they're completely gone or they're finally the threat has been quelled, and then it's like, hello, I'm back.
They always come back. There's always a way back.
And they make quite the entrance. That's always fun. So what happened aboard the human ship?
Okay, so you've got this dying Dalek. His name is Rusty. And the weird thing is that Rusty hates Daleks. So the humans think that somehow Rusty can help them in their fight. So they put the Doctor to save Rusty because Rusty seems to be sick. And that's what doctors do. They fix things. But as we know from you, the doctor is not really a medical doctor. He's a doctor of something else. Tell us.
Cheese making, of course.
Yes.
I thought you were gonna say. I thought it was dramatic pause.
It was yours because I never knew that.
Yeah. That once in a while I do pick up on little random things. It was funny too 'cause when I put that that was in our pilot episode. People were saying, "What on earth does cheese making have to do with anything?" I'm gonna have to post the meme that shows the actual dialogue from that episode. It's a Matt Smith episode, series 6, I believe.
Obviously, cheese making is OP.
It is. I'm a big fan of the dairy. For those of you that are lactose intolerant, I'm sorry, but I love the cheese. I can't, like a good Gouda or some Havarti. Oh, be still my heart.
Again.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm a foodie. Once in a while, this will be turned. This will.
Good. I just need to eat before the podcast.
I had an oatmeal and it barely hit the spot. Oatmeal and some coffee. It's like, yeah, okay, that'll tie me over slightly, but my tummy's already grumbling. So, once in a while, this show, guys, it will turn into the food cast temporarily.
That's okay.
Yeah, it happens when we go through a wormhole. So Rusty, you mentioned Rusty is different from other Daleks, because he has experienced the beauty in the birth of a star.
That's awesome.
I would love to see something like that. Can you imagine?
That was poetic.
That was poetic. That actually really moved me when that one little part. But, even in the worst of Doctor Who episode, there's always a little nugget, something you could take away from it. There's always a takeaway that makes you go, yeah, that was worth it. So that if anything, that was one of them, if not the one.
Definitely. I mean, it takes your imagination out there.
Oh yeah. And again, we already talked about the intrigue of space, outer space.
Right.
The vastness of the universe and how it humbles us. Just thinking about, there's always new stars born and old stars dying, that lived thousands, if not millions of years. It's mind-boggling. I can't even wrap my head around that. Who was it that said we are but grains of sand in the hourglass? Was that Thoreau?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think it was Henry Thoreau.
When I saw
Walt
that scene about the birth of a star, I was immediately I immediately thought about a passage out of the Bible. This is not a religious moment, but it came to me this passage about God knowing the name of every star, and I don't know, that was just really poetic for me.
I do like that. The creation, you're talking about like the Genesis story, the creation of the universe.
I don't know where that comes out of, but that that even stars are significant. They're not just lonely lights out there.
Everything matters.
Exactly.
You matter. You matter,
You
Sam.
matter, and you matter.
Our viewers, our listeners, even the people that don't listen to the whole show, you matter.
Yes, they do.
I'm teasing. But you do matter. But we were just joking about, we were talking about that earlier. It's like most people listen to the whole show, but we know there's some people that are really busy or maybe just have bad time management skills, whatever it is, and they don't listen to the whole episode. We'll try not to derail too much in lieu of that. But we're about to enter our first hour, or complete our first hour, rather. So, but we're going to keep going here. So, through the experience of beauty that Rusty was able to take in, he tasted the goodness of truth. It was just as the Greek philosopher Aristotle suggests must happen. So that was you went deep on that last in episode 2.
Yes, I did.
Our surprise show. Was it the vast? Well, actually, you're about to get into it, aren't you?